Morning guys, sorry I've been away for a couple of weeks. Today we're just doing my friend's driveway. He's already had someone turn up and do a test patch, unsolicited, but he's got a major weed issue, and he went over it yesterday with some strong weed killer. It's still a good job by the looks of it, to be fair. Because with these, that's sort of what you want to do with when you've got a lot of weed growth. If you can get the customer to apply some weed killer first, because that's absorbed through the actual leaves, rather than pressure washing it first and then putting weed killer down, it's not going to be as effective. So you're better off killing it all first, and then pressure washing it about 48 hours later. Got a drain all the way down the road there. That's not ideal. Obviously most of the dirty water, there's going to be a lot of muck and stuff coming off of here, and all the dirty water's going to flow down here, so I'm going to have to clean probably most of this as well. But it's going to be good, I reckon. There's not a lot I can do about all this. This is a result of this tree. All the roots underneath have moved these around. I could take them up and try and reposition them, but the chances are there's going to be some really thick roots under here, and I'm not going to start digging in and chopping them away. So they've got a wedding coming up. This is a bit of a wedding present for them, so I'm just going to tidy it up and make it look a bit neater. I've been wondering, for any of you guys that do pressure washing regularly, how have you been getting on with the weather recently? Because for me, I've been really struggling to get back to the jobs that need resanding, purely because of how bad the weather's been. And it's been really playing on my mind knowing that the customer is waiting for the job to be finished. And although there's nothing I can do about the weather, it really bothers me. But I think this is where good communication comes in, because as long as you're updating your customer, you're not waiting for them to send you a message asking when the job's going to be finished. As long as you're being proactive and you communicate with them and keep them up to date, in my experience, it reassures them that you are coming back to finish off the job. And taking 10 seconds out of your day to just write a text message really goes a long way. But the other thing that's been very frustrating is the jobs that I have managed to resand, because we've had such heavy rain afterwards. Have you guys had this issue as well, where the rain is bringing some of the sand out from between the joints? So I'm having to go back to jobs that I finished off weeks ago and brush fresh sand back into the joints. And I know a lot of my American audience are always commenting saying, why aren't you using polymetric sand? Why aren't you using sand that actually sets between the joints? And to be honest, with the weather we've had, I think it might be a good idea to switch to that kind of sand. The only issue is it literally doubles, almost triples the price of the sand. And I'm not sure whether it's worth it for my customers to put that much of a markup on the price. I don't think I've seen rain like we've had over the last couple of months so heavy in all my life. I don't know whether I'm just paying more attention to it because my job now relies on the weather. I'm interested to hear what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. One of the other problems as a result of the rain that I've experienced is, how do you seal a freshly cleaned driveway if the weather's poor? And what happens when you clean a driveway and then wait 1, 2, even 3 weeks before you're able to get back to resand and seal? The weeds start coming back up through between the joints because there's no sand in place. And the whole point in sealing the sand in is to slow that whole process down. And so if they're coming back up through before you've even applied the sand, you're fighting a losing battle. And it's almost making me reconsider whether I actually want to offer sealing as a service, because it's been causing me so much stress lately. It really feels like it's not worth it to me at the moment. And this might just be a bit of an anomaly, because I don't remember it being this bad last year. I just wondered if it's just me. Maybe I need to stop complaining and just get on with it. I don't know. I'll try to remember to put a link in the description for a video someone sent me, or they put it in a comment, about bending and adjusting your lance. Because I had a bit of a rant about these bent lances in the last video. And you can literally just put it in something like that, and you can bend it to your desired shape, and this is perfect now. This was so unmanageable with this machine and this old lance. It was the only one I had because the other one snapped, but it had such a harsh bend on it. Every time I pulled the trigger it flipped up like this, and it was exhausting to use because I had to keep my hand on the top pushing it down. But I bent it now and it's perfect. Still going to get a new one, but this will do for now. I'm very aware that this channel used to be about sort of positivity and, you know, being the best version of yourself and creating things. And I know recently it's turned into more of like a ranting channel, and I am very conscious of that. I think I've been struggling with a lot lately. I'm not going to go into it now, but you know how like bad things come in threes? It's been a rough couple of weeks. Maybe I'll talk about it on the live stream tonight, I'm not sure. I do prefer creating the more uplifting, kind of like inspiring content, I suppose, and I'm quite keen to get back onto that. And I read all your comments, all your lovely comments, and they're all so supportive, and I can see that some of you are getting quite a lot from the little nuggets of information that are on these videos, and so I'm very grateful of that, and keep putting those comments down there because it does help more than you can imagine. I think we're about a third of the way through the clean, roughly. I've just stopped because I'm waiting for my tank to fill up. Decent water pressure, but this machine's a lot higher litres per minute than my old one. Got the van absolutely filthy. Serves me right for parking next to the cleaning area, I suppose. You can see that it's absolutely covered in weeds, especially in these larger joints here. Now I am going to treat the whole lot with hypo, so that should help prevent the weed regrowth. Not prevent it, it's going to keep it at bay for a little bit longer. Not very many black spots. It's actually looking very clean just from the pressure. I don't know if you guys have heard, but we've now got a private Discord for paid members of the channel. It's a really supportive bunch of guys, loads of great questions and answers from people who've got all different levels of experience, and we're just beginning to put together a few guides for things like when not to use hypo, useful links, and general tips and tricks. Hit the join button under this video if you'd like to get access. Also this week I'll be adding a second album of images to the boosted members tier, which currently has 50 high quality before and afters for you to use in your leaflets, social media posts, and it's just to help you get your pressure washing business started. Just stopping again and waiting for the water to fill up. Harry said that it's fine for me to just dump all this in behind the tree over there, which is nice. It saves me having to fill up a bin or bag it up or take it away with me. Nice little solution. So if you can do that, or if there's a compost pile in the customer's garden or anything, that's really, really ideal. For all of you guys who regularly join the live streams every Monday night at 7:30, you'd have probably already seen that I've been working on a quoting tool. And I'm not going to lie, I'm quite excited about it. This is the first coding project that I've ever actually published. And I've dabbled in a little bit of game development here and there, but I've never really put anything out as like a product. So I'm really pleased with this. It's taken many tutorials and the maths has baffled my brain, but I think it's turned out really well and it's actually really functional. I've been using it myself to quote my own jobs. I've just added a few little updates here and there. I've added a VAT button so that you can calculate the VAT. You can also type in your materials costs. So say for example you get your sand from B&Q where it's like £6.90, or you go to Travis Perkins where it might be a little bit cheaper. You can type that figure in and it'll work out the cost of sand and also how many bags you'll need. And the same goes for the sealer as well. Last week I put in a little feature where you can add on an additional labour cost for things like resanding and sealing. So you're not only accounting for the materials, but you're accounting for your time as well. I've not really looked at any of the quoting tools that are out there. I know there's a few different ones. They're probably a little bit prettier than mine. This one is very much suited to my workflow and the way I want to present the quote to my customer. So in the next few weeks, what I'm going to try and do is put a section down at the bottom where it'll essentially allow you to copy and paste all the important info that you can just then send on to your customer. Future updates will include the ability to add a percentage markup onto your materials costs, which is pretty standard practice in the industry. My overseas audience have also asked if I can change the currency to dollars and feet instead of meters, so I'll try and give that a go. And also I'm going to put on there a list of trusted suppliers, people who I've bought from regularly in the past and who I've had good experiences with. So I'll have links to their websites too. If you go over to smelt.club, give it a go, have a play with it, try and break it and give me any feedback that you can. Any features that you think would be useful to add, please let me know, and I hope someone finds it useful. You can see here I've still not totally got the hang of the X-Jet. I'm still having some issues where I'm struggling to get it to foam up. To be fair, this was an old barrel, and you can see later on in the clip I go over it again with a fresh barrel and it foams up really nicely actually, so it's definitely user error. There's no issue with the product, it's all down to me. I'll figure it out. Harry's gonna do some jet washing on the pallet ready for the wedding. What are you making out of this again?
It's like a little order of the day. So we'll have like what's going on each row.
Oh, like a sign?
Yeah.
Can you squeeze the trigger while I turn the machine on?
Yeah.
Ready? Harry, if you go lengthways,
Yeah.
like across like that,
Okay.
and don't stop, else you'll leave a line.
Right, okay.
So when I'm doing decking and stuff, there's always like a little bit of green left over because it's so deep in the grain of the wood. But if you spray that biocide, give you on it now,
Yeah.
that'll come up really well. It'll come up like brand new.
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
You happy with it?
Yeah, it's much better. Save me a bit of sand, I think.
Yeah. I just want to say a huge thank you to my members in particular. I'm honestly so grateful that you guys are supporting me as much as you are, and also the viewers, the commenters, the people who are liking the videos. It all goes a long way to helping YouTube promote my content to other people, so I really appreciate you all. Thank you. And we're done. Just drying up nicely, road's nice and clear. Got rid of all those weeds. Shame about this, but you can really see now where all the roots are coming through from the tree. It's crazy. I feel like that'd be so much work to pull that whole area up and pull all the roots out and relay all the blocks. Too much work really. Don't know if it's worth it. But otherwise, the rest of it's looking beautiful. Don't like it when it's patchy like this, when it's sort of half dry and half wet. I prefer taking my before and after pictures, or my after pictures. I prefer taking them when everything's wet, because the colours really pop. Like you can see on this bit. That looks brilliant. And the dry bits don't look as impressive. But it's all clean. I didn't clean this area because there's so many stones and stuff in between all the joints. All we've done is pull all the weeds out and clear it up, and I've just blasted some hypo over it just to smarten it up a little bit. It's a lot better than it was, but it ain't perfect. But yeah, come back another day, resand. Probably going to cut these hedges as well and mow the grass if we have time. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one.